Georgia on the logo, celebrating back-to-back Nats. Perfection wears red and black tonight, 15-0.
Georgia 4 yards from an SEC championship. First down. ETN in the I formation. They hand it to him. Touchdown! Georgia are SEC champions!
Sigue Ringo! Corta dentro! Ringo! Touchdown! Georgia! Flea Flicker to get the night started. Downfield looking for Godwin. Into his hands. And guess which dogs are barking first? Uga, get after it.
Sonny Michel will send the Dogs home to the championship game!
And Bobo throws that thing in the end zone and yes! Touchdown! Touchdown in the goal line!
Georgia Bulldogs bludgeon their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory. Georgia, as the fight song says.
This is our love for each other. 1 + 1 = what? 3. We are better together and we are connected.
This is Robert Iron E. Singleton, a.k.a. D-Dog from The Walking Dead, or Alton from The Blind Side, and you are watching Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. All right, guys, go Dogs, sick 'em.
Yo, what up? We back in the building for another episode of Respect the Hedges. Coach I is not here tonight. They got your boy behind the steering wheel. I'm going to try to keep it in the middle of the road for Coach I, but I ain't going to do it by myself. I'm going to have some of my partners come on here at some point. At the moment, we got my boy, the coolest fan in the land, Cool Cal. What's happening?
What it do? Boy, this feel like Wednesday. I don't know where the fellas at.
Yeah, man, we kind of, we moving slowly, man. We moving slowly.
Yeah,
We moving slowly. A couple of the guys had birthday. It was birthday week for a few of the guys.
For sure.
We moving
Birthday
along.
week, end of the summer, school about to start back, you know what I'm saying? So I know, people out there getting the kids ready for school this week and next week. So I get it, but it's getting about that time again, man. It's getting exciting. It's about to be August. We got the first lady stepped in, go Dogs. So always here. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments. As always, we got the first lady that's always in there first. Shout out to Miss Allen. Shout out to my boy Jason from the Hall of Fame College Football, man. I heard you got a new whip. You drove out to a new state to get a new whip. I hope you enjoy the new whip. Hall of Fame College Football, the hardest man working in social media. Trust me. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I clicked on the wrong thing.
My brother.
We got our partner in the building. Happy belated birthday to our double dog, damn good dog, E-Rob. What's happening?
Hey, man. I'm just happy to be here, man. I keep forgetting how close we are to the season, bro. And then I don't know, I had a revelation like, damn, that shit, it's just right around the corner, man. So I'm ready, bro. I'm starting to smell that grass. So I'm ready. Let's get it.
And also, man, we got somebody who takes some of the best pictures.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
Our home girl, our photographer, RTH photographer, Kate Hill in the building. What's happening, Kate Hill?
What it do?
Love her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pete's is in the building, man. I hadn't seen you in the comments, but I appreciate you joining us. Thank you for coming in. And we also got our guy, Oklahoma guy, Sooner in Texas. What's happening, man?
What it do?
Hey, you know what, man? I really want to know. So that Sooner guy, man, what are they thinking? How they feeling about the upcoming season? Hey, man, type so. Let me know how you feeling, bro. Holla back.
Shout out to Hall of Fame again, man. He said, what's up to the crew, man. So what we're going to do, man, we may have a few guys come in a little bit later on, man. Well, we're going to kind of hop into this thing a little bit, man. What's up, Lance B? I see you in the comments.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
So,
Lance.
you got people like Ryan Day, Dabo Sweeney, up and coming new coaches like Marcus Freeman, you know what I'm saying, Kalen DeBoer, it's a lot of good and great coaches out there, guys. Kirby Smart is one of them.
For sure.
But the main reason we're here tonight, I just want to ask you guys, and I'm going to ask you this question. I got a feeling what you're going to say. But when you answer this question, just let me know why. Who is the best coach in the game right now? Cool Cal, talk to me.
Right now it's Kirby. I'm gonna be a homer on it, but it's Kirby. I really truly believe that because it's not just necessarily who won the last national championship. We gotta look at the totality of the work. He's been to 3 national championship games. He's won 2. He's got an undefeated season. He's top 3 in recruiting every single season. Everything is rolling right now. He's got coaches that are going to big time programs that are becoming. So he's also now developing other great coaches that are moving on because now, if you're the D coordinator, the OC, you have a great season or two. Look at the opportunities that it can bring for you. Let's look at what's my guy name? No, he's the OC with the Ravens now. That was here. Back when he was winning. Monken goes on in the NFL having great success. Obviously, you've got Lanning out at Oregon, and just some other guys that are starting to develop as well. So I think that when you look at all of those facets, it's Kirby right now.
Okay. And E-Rod, before we go to you, I think your question got a little traction in the comments that you had for Sooner in Texas. I don't know if he's going to answer it, but it got a little traction in the comments. So same question to you, E-Rob. Like I said, I know you're a homer as well, but at the end of the day, we try to keep it real. We try to keep it 100. Absolutely. We try to keep it a bean all the time. So same question to you. Who the best coach in the game right now?
I mean, undoubtedly, it's Josh Heupel. We didn't got the question. I
missed the comedy tour.
Right.
I missed the comedy tour.
I tried to keep.
Stop it.
Man, boy, stop. So look, man. So really, I want to echo everything that Cal said. So Cal kind of stole my thunder. My whole thing, we know what Kirby has accomplished. We know about the recruiting. We know about the back-to-back national championships. We know about the undefeated seasons. We know about SEC titles. We know about all those things. But I was going to take it a further. When you take coaches and coaches come in your coaching tree, the guys that leave your program and go to other programs and kind of take your formula, much like Coach Saban, much like, you know what I'm saying? So when Coach Saban left the game, it was Kirby Smart, and no one has knocked him off the top of the summit as of yet. And I don't see that happening. Like Kirby said, we ain't going nowhere.
Listen, guys, I agree with you. I see Trojan Fight. He put up a comment up there. I can't. Can you get that Trojan Fight comment put up there for the Stat Guy? And shout out to Stat Guy. He behind the scene producing, doing his thing. Shout out to Stat Guy, man. So he said Kirby would be the next to leave due to NIL, not Namble within the next 3 years. And Trojan Fight, I'm gonna give you credit for that because I truly, in a sense, know where you're coming from and feel that way too. But just at the moment to answer the question, Kirby the best in the game. And he also showing you he the best in NIL game too. No matter what, people were crying about Texas pull 1 or 2 players from us. So what? We lose 5 stars all the time just like we get them. And we still got the number 1 class, baby. Right. And guess what? We ain't got no GM like everybody want to monkey see, monkey do, getting GM for their program. Like Kirby don't let you know I'm the GM. We ain't getting no GM.
Kirby spin game. Kirby, you know what I mean? He walking up, you know what I'm saying, just getting numbers in the club. Kirby out there spitting game, man. That's a good point that you just made as far as saying, and that's a great point. How he's transitioning with the game as well. Another coach I got a lot of respect for, Dabo Swinney, he's had a hard time transitioning to the new game. Yeah. I think he's kind of gotten on board a little bit more each year. But with Kirby, it's just been a smooth transition. If we're going to do it this way, I'll go ahead and flip it up and do it this way. And I think that that's also a feather in his cap as well, is that he's able to transition. And I think, man, listen, I don't think he's going anywhere. I just think, man, we gonna give him too much
We gonna
money,
give
man.
him whatever he wants. We're gonna give it to him. So,
Whatever you want,
yep,
bro. Whatever.
yep.
And I also think our photographer Kay Hill, she put up a great comment too. Like just from a psyche standpoint, the way that he recruits, I mean, it just proven in the terms of the NIL. We don't even pay. We're getting high caliber kids for less money. They have a chance to get more money from different places. So
True.
Kirby is doing something up here. He's pitching more about football in the long-term
Development.
game.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go, as opposed to just getting the money right here and there. Because
And-
I tell people all the time, you lose them the same way you get them. So if
Yes,
you get them for
sir.
money, you're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose them.
Man,
Exactly.
that's pimp game.
Yep.
That's pimp game. It's about that long term. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? We ain't gonna worry about this little short term money. It's that long term.
Well, and then Kirby can point to real life examples. Like, man, I'm not just blowing smoke out my butt. Look at this dude, number one pick. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look for, you know what I'm saying? Back to back to back. As a matter of fact, when you go into not the Busman, but the new thing they built at the stadium, they have a whole room dedicated to NFL signings. And it just is a constant ticker tape of players and their salaries going across. And believe me, people notice that. Recruits notice that. You know what I'm saying? And if you come here, we're gonna win. We're gonna play on the biggest stages. We're gonna play in the biggest games. So if that was your dream coming up, you can get that right here. And the thing is, we're not gonna give you a lot of money for what you did in high school. But if you come here and do all that stuff here at Georgia, you're gonna eat. You're gonna eat just like the rest of them cats at these other schools. But if you want to get paid for what you did in high school, you know, we wish you the best. We'll holler at you. We'll see you.
And Trojan Fight, that's what I was just saying. We basically getting, high caliber kids, cheaper. They can go get more money for different places. They want to get developed and make it to the NFL. And the Bulldog report, I agree with you 100%. There's definitely some truth in that. And I know where you're coming from, that 100%. This shift with the NIL and things like that, I think it's increasing
that I agree with
the burnout rate in coaches. And Dabo, unfortunately, but fortunately to Erod's point, he slowly had to, change as well, because if he didn't change, he was going to get left behind. And coaches who have that kind of older school mentality, you have to adapt, or, you're going to it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you 100%.
For sure.
So I think we all in agreement with Kirby being the best coach in the game right now. Let me ask you guys a question. I'm going to pitch this to you. And it could be, two positives, however you want to say it. But let me know, even though he's the best coach in the game right now, let me know something that you would like to see or possibly see an improvement in Kirby, whether it be on-field adjustments, off the field, whatever it may be. What would you like to see an improvement? What would you like to give the guy who has everything?
Let me say this real quick, Cal, and I'm gonna let you run with it, because I know you're gonna say it. You're gonna take it out of me. I ain't gonna have no meat left on the bone. I know you're gonna say it, man. The only thing, and really, I think the only thing left for Kirby to do is to develop one of these big time quarterbacks and have them be a big time player coming in and leave as a big time player. We've done a good job with taking guys kind of off the scrap heap and developing them and getting them to do, but we haven't had one of those big time talented dudes come through and then leave as a big time talented dude, first round pick type of guy. So I want to see that. We've done it pretty much at every other position except for quarterback.
So before you go, Cal, let me just say this, Erod. Let me just ask, I'm just posing this to you.
Yeah.
But his moniker is a defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
So you just saying to get the quarterback development, that would be somewhat of an evolution of his.
No, I'm answering your question. Your question was, what I'm saying, what would I like to see? And he's done everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we don't won national championship. We don't won we've done all that. We've had number one picks at defensive level. So we've done all those things. We've had buckets winners and defensive all. What we haven't done is seeing a big time quarterback come. I just want to see that one time. That's all. And I know he's a defensive guy, but we got to play offense too.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I get you. So basically, that next guy, potentially, because we hear a lot of great things about Puglisi, but Curtis coming in, 5-star, number one guy.
Yeah.
You want to see him come in and be that All-American Heisman kind of guy. So
We nitpicking, Thad.
yeah, I know that.
You know what I'm saying? We're nitpicking.
Like you said,
sure.
we've done everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything. We've had number one picks. We've had, everything that you can think of. I guess, like you said, because he is the defensive guy, I would like to see the offense be a little bit more dominant, a little less predictable. And that may kind of be along the same lines of what E-Rob is talking about. I want to see us go out there and have a high-powered offense. You know what I'm saying? An offense that's out there is 47 a game. Like, where we just going out there, we could just do whatever. I don't think we've had that quite yet, and I would like to see that. And I think that's going to kind of come with having that big-time 5-star quarterback where you can just go out there and do everything with.
Well, as I'm listening to you guys, go ahead, E-Rob. I'm just reading some of these comments from Bulldog Report. He dropping some debatable things out there. Go ahead, E-Rob.
No, just real quick, man. The only thing I'll kind of push back on with Cal is we have seen an explosive offense. That 2022 offense was as explosive as any other offense that you could name in college football. I'm telling you, because as explosive as with who we played, Ohio State, with Stroud at quarterback, and they had like 10 more yards than us offensively in the year. You know what I'm saying? We were that explosive that year, and we were scoring 47, damn near 47 points a game. So we've had it, but it was with Stetson. And don't get me wrong, that's my guy. I just want to see it with a big time dude and kind of carry that torch all the way through and end up a big time guy.
Well, goddamn, that was all I could come up with. You took my quarterback. That's all I had. I didn't want to say the same thing, but I kind of want to see the same thing. When we get a Justin Fields, when we get, again, Curtis, we had, Eason when he first came in.
Yeah.
One of those guys that just, like you said, steps in on the campus who becomes a CJ Stroud, who becomes a, Cam Newton, Tim Tebow. One of those kind of guys. It would be cool to see that type of guy go out there and play quarterback for us, for 2-3 years.
Yep. What's in the comments, Dad? What's going on out there?
Again, guys, I agree with everything you guys saying. Just to answer the question myself, I would probably like it kind of stems to what you guys were saying. I would like to see if there's any way that if there's any kind of reins or any kind of box he's putting my offensive coordinator in, I would like to hear him to come out of that box. Let him do what he want to do, because maybe that was one of the things he had with Monkey. I don't know if he maybe trusted Monkey more. I don't know. Maybe it was just Monkey had the players. It maybe had to do more with personnel. I don't know. But Kirby has been.
Monkey was genius.
Well, but again,
he also had different personnel too. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I'm gonna say this. A lot of things in big time games, Monken had guys running wide open.
Yeah.
Listen, I know he had big time guys. I'm not taking that away. But man, the way he was scheme and set things up was impressive.
That first year with Beck with Bobo, we put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
No quarrels here. I think we all on the same page with that. At the end of the day, My next question would be to you guys. Like who is that next up and coming guy? Because when you ask that question, Ryan, they got a better winning percentage. Like, where would the next guy at this current pace? Where would the next guy, meaning next coach, have to do to overthrow Kirby as the next best head coach? Because Ryan Day got to be knocking on the door, right?
Yeah, it's Ryan Day.
Well, yeah, I think
Freeman, young coach. I don't know if he got enough.
He ain't got over the hump yet.
Right. Yeah. So, but he young and up and coming.
Who?
Freeman at Notre Dame.
Oh, Freeman. Right. Yeah. Freeman. I mean, he's you gotta. No, he's a great coach, but he's got a couple steps to take, in my opinion. I think
before you answer that question, Cal, let me ask you before you answer that question, where do we put Kirby at? Is he like a he part of that old brigade, he middle of the road, or he new school? Because he's had 10 years. But is he, because you got people like Dabo Sweeney, Fritz, Brian Kelly. You got kind of that old brigade.
Yeah, old school, yeah.
Right. Because they got more total wins than Kirby. But over the past 10 years since he's been here, is he kind of that middle? Is he old school, middle school, new school? How we consider Kirby?
I think he's still an old school guy to me. To me, he's kind of an old school principal, but he's adaptable. He's Nick Saban, like he learned from, the best in the game, and that was one of the special things about Nick Saban. He was adaptable in the things that he did. And over the years, just because things were this way, like Alabama, first off, when he first came in, it was basically, we're going to win games 9-6. Our defense would just go out there and whoop ass, and they was that good. And then he changed. He changed to where he got the great offenses, the Tuas, and the other guy the year they had the great offense with I don't know, quarterback he's played with.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Yeah, but they had super explosive offenses, you know what I'm saying, that he adapted to. And so I think that's the special thing about Kirby is, to me, he's an old school guy. He wants to go out there, bloody you up, win games 10-7. He's fine with that, but he also understands that that's not the only way to do it. There's other ways to do it that can be more effective. And I think that he's willing to change with that. And I think that's what's, the most special part about him is he's very relatable to all, different backgrounds and kids. You can just tell how charismatic he is, and he's able to deal with a variety of people. And I think it takes all of that to be at the top of the mountain where he is right now. But I will say, I think that Dabo is a guy that gets a little lost with the conversation, because I know we're saying, Day is up and coming and all of that, but Dabo still got 2 titles, so if he goes out and they're projected to potentially win this year, he goes out and wins the title this year. Now, where do we put Dabo in that argument? Because I still think he's number 2 for me.
Okay, wow. Okay, then that's interesting. You want to say something, E-Rob, before I go to the next question?
Yeah, man. So like J. Cole got that
old school to you, new school. What
J. Cole got the song middle what it is, middle something. But yeah, that's Kirby. He was so young when he got the job here at Georgia. So you know what I'm saying, that he has those old school principles, but he's now kind of grown into the position. So he's kind of right there in that middle area. So he can touch the old school and the new. So he can, you know what I'm saying, he got his hands on both. And he plays that role really well. He really understands both, and he knows how to meld them together. And again, like we're saying about Kirby and the NIL, like his pitch isn't about how much money we can give you up front, but they don't even talk about that. It's about where we can take you, where you can develop as a man, as a football player, and in the NFL. And like in the pitch is, if you come here and play well, trust me, you're gonna get that money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't worry about that. The money is here. Trust me, Brock Bowers ate really well here at the University of Georgia. Please believe it. Come make plays like Brock. If you want that.
I like what you just said, E-Rob. Just to answer the question, what is it about? What do you guys think it is about Kirby? Because I think Kate Hill, you know what I'm saying, she said something very important. Like, what is it about our NIL or Kirby's pitch that we're able to, even in the NIL era, which we'll say has been the last 2-3 years, how are we still able to reel these guys in? Because obviously it's not all about money. I hear other people talk about their programs and what their schools have to offer, because any Power 4 school has money. Everybody get a cut of the same pie. So everybody has money. Now, then you look at wins and losses. You got some schools, obviously, who win more, the Georgias. But you got a lot of, big branded football teams in this conference. Right. And to that point, again, we pulled out another number 1 class. What do you think it is about Kirby in this NIL era that makes them still be able to pull these kids in?
Okay, so this is what I look at. So there's obviously each school has has a bucket of money that they can use to go out and get kids, right? So I think Georgia's somewhere 8, 9, 10 in that range across the nation. So, and coming up with number one recruiting classes, along with being, at the back end of that top 10. So what's special about Kirby is, so obviously each year you're going to probably have about 20 to 30 5-star kids throughout the nation. And then you're going to have a huge block of 4-star kids that may range all the way another 150, 200 kids, right? So at the end of the day, you still got to go out there. You got to evaluate the talent.
Right.
And you got to make sure that money is used. So you may say, you know what? I can't get the number one linebacker in the country because it's going to take $5 million a year to get that kid. We can't put our money into that bucket. But if I can go get this number 3 or 4 kid, we're going to develop him into something special. And we maybe only have to come out 500, whatever the numbers may be to get that kid to come in. So you're still able to go out there and get really good kids. Like, that's why we're going to lose some kids, to Texas.
Yes.
Because some checks are just going to be too large. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can get $5 million versus you're going to give me $500K or whatever the gap may be, you can understand and say, okay, this is why I'm going over here. You know what I'm saying? I got to go make that money. I got to get that. But if we can get these kids and evaluate, get the right ones, I can turn that kid into this kid as well. And so I think that he's able to identify, you know what I'm saying, kids that we can go out and get. We ain't got to pay them as much as some of these other kids, but we're going to make them special.
And shout out to our on-field correspondent, Hina Patel, in the building.
Let's go, Hina. Where is Hina?
Where's Hina?
Again, so it's that middle child thing, man. So being in this NIL era, it was just kind of written for Kirby to kind of be the coach at the University of Georgia at this time. And for him, his approach, the way he goes about his business, it was just his time. And with this change, he is the right person. Like I said, he can kind of go both ways and sell these kids on the old school and what it's going to take. Because it ain't about the cars and all that, man. We got to go grind. We got to go get it out the mud. And he has to sell them on that. When you come here, it ain't going to be, are you going to get coached? All this, you get paid. We don't care nothing about that. All that's off the field. You're going to get coached hard here. You're going to get pushed to your limit. We're going to recruit you. We're going to recruit you again. We're going to try to get guys better than you every single year. And we're going to tell him, take his job.
Yep.
And your job is to hold them off. And I call that gladiator school. And Kirby has done a great job of creating that culture. And that's what I want to say. That's what makes Kirby special. I've heard what's the coach over there at Nebraska? He talked about how we practice. He tried to sell his team on look. Matt Rule. He's selling his look, y'all. This team just won the championship, and I went to go watch them practice, and that shit is different. It's different how they go about their business. Ain't no walking. It's all we got. And if you won't do it, he will. We got three of you. I'm telling you, and that kind of competition, that kind of just talent in the building, it matters. So, and we built a great culture, and I think that's Kirby's biggest strength, building a great culture during this NIL time frame.
Hey, man, I'm going to say this right here. I don't know what's going on, but shout out to everybody in the comments, man, because some folks in the comments dropping some real nice nuggets in the comments. I'm going to say Lance B put a comment there to your point, E-Rob. I think Kirby Smart is that like Lance B say, he that bridge from the old school to the new school. Like, he's not too young when he come to sounding like a car salesman. But he's not so old. It's like, with a game don't pass you by, bro. We ain't doing that no more. He in pocket. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't even want to try to pronounce this, but it's a Bulldog football podcast. It got a whole bunch of different letters. I don't even want to try to go through those letters. But they dropping some knowledge too about Kirby. I just didn't want to try to read all them. But they dropping some nuggets, and I appreciate that comment he made. Whoever that group is that they made. So they dropping some nuggets, man. So yeah. But I agree with everything y'all just said, man. Total 100%.
Right.
Who you got,
And,
Shawty?
and
Who you
also, I
got?
want to say too, because obviously you guys played with Kirby, but just watching him on the field, basically that would, you know what I'm saying, seems to be his personality. He was probably I'm sure a hard-nosed grinder type of football player, and he carries that same type of intensity into the
Very
recruiting and
cerebral.
coaching.
Very
Right.
smart. Yep.
Every
Very smart.
step of the way, you know what I'm saying? So he's been groomed to be, like E-Rob said, he's been groomed to do this, man, for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we able to take advantage of it now.
Yep.
Yeah, something Eero you about to say?
No, I wanted to know. You asked us the question, like, who's the second guy? So I think it's Ryan Day. Just he got that thing rolling, and I think that they definitely have the possibility of the potential to win another championship in the next couple of years. So I feel like he got that thing rolling, and they're right there. They've been right there at it. And if you keep staying right there at it, eventually you're gonna burst through. And they busted through, and I can see them doing it again. So he's my next guy, kind of behind Kirby. And what you said though, Cal, about Dabo cannot be taken lightly. Dabo does have to. He ain't waiting to try to get. He already has to. You know what I'm saying? But I think what kind of pushes Dabo to the back is his inability to adapt to kind of what's going on and kind of, you know. But like you said, they have a good team this year. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. But who's your second guy? Shout it.
At the moment, I'm gonna say Ryan Day too, but I really think it's a lot closer than a lot of people give him credit for, because it's tough.
Yeah,
takes a lot. But if he win another one, it's hard not to argue that he is the best, because his win percentage, he has the best winning percentage. So I match you in championships and my win percentage better. Granted, it's not over the same amount of years, so that may be the arguing point. But just to your point, who my number two, it would probably be Ryan Day or Marcus Freeman. But I just think Ryan Day is already set up. Well, both of them are already set up to win. But Ryan Day is a lot closer because he already got a few years up on him. He already has a national championship. And he at Ohio State. Like, they got the resources. So, yeah, that would be my number two.
He's my number three. So, I mean, you know, he's right there. So, it's, you know, we all in the same boat. Yeah, great coach, like I said, you know. But again, you know, up there, man, those folks care about. He need to beat Michigan this year.
Right. Right.
Because he's like, it's all good, but you still didn't beat Michigan.
Yeah, and we did mention Kalen DeBoer in the beginning. We did mention him in the beginning. But I think Kalen DeBoer just has a tougher uphill battle. I think the program that he's at is already set and rolling. But it's just a conference that he has more competition. Again, DeBoer has to go against arguably the number one coach. Ryan Day is in the Big Ten. I think he kind of, granted, Dan Lanning is knocking at the door, but I think he has a stronghold on that conference. I think there's levels to everything, and I just think Ryan Day is a little bit is a level above Dan Lanning at the moment. And DeBoer just having to compete with Kirby. We ain't gonna even talk about the rest of the SEC, but just having to compete with Kirby year in and year out, that what makes DeBoer job a lot more difficult. But if he overtakes Kirby, it makes him more successful.
What about Sark?
Yeah, Sark is another one. But I think Sark, what makes Sark a little bit tougher, he hasn't even played for a natty. At least DeBoer played for one.
Right. I agree with that.
Facts.
Yep.
Facts.
That's exactly what I was gonna say about Sark. Like he just ain't, he hadn't done it yet. They're making a lot of noise, you know what I'm saying? They are definitely on everyone's radar, but they just hadn't done it yet.
Hey man,
go on, let the clip loose.
I've heard two different things. I heard sometimes, hey, if you ain't 15 minutes early, you late. Then some people say whenever I get here is on time. That's when I put the guy here. You got my boy. My OG CA in the building, man. Wide out. What's going on?
I had to sneak in here. You know, my baby girl told me I was being lazy. She saw me sleep on the couch. She said I'm being lazy.
I like
Tighten
that.
up. Tighten up then,
what?
CA.
It's on. You're right. I'm gonna do my best. Glad to be in here, fellas. I heard a lot of good talk, but I'm gonna just jump in. Get in where I fit in, if y'all let me.
So I just saw a comment. We're talking about who could be the next coach. We've all agreed that Kirby Smart is currently the best coach in the game. And we're currently speaking about who could supplant Kirby Smart from his current position. Ryan Day losing both coordinators, it can be a big factor.
I didn't know that.
But he lost old boy to the NFL. But that's also part of being a great head coach. Like, we lose coaches all the time. That's why if you look at a lot of these media days, one of the main things that the coaches harped and talked about was continuity, being able to bring their staffs back. But most coaches, if you're a good coach and you winning a lot of games like Georgia, Ohio State, Dan Lanning, you losing skill position coaches and coordinators all the time. So CA, I ask you, but that's a good point on Trojan Fight. I agree with you. I'm gonna ask you, CA, who you think could be the next coach, young or old, to supplant Kirby Smart?
I don't know. I mean, that next coach won't be the guy to supplant Kirby Smart. Kirby's gonna walk his own path just like all the other coaches do. I think it's about timing when you think about supplant, and I feel like Kirby has at least 5 years left if he wants to do it. You guys mentioned Sark, and Ryan Day, great coaches in their own right. Maintaining a staff is difficult. Dan Lanning, I think, has a better chance in Oregon. That feels like a place where coaches are going to go to cut their teeth. But when you talk about these coaches on the come up, a lot of the time, just as you mentioned, their biggest struggle is going to be keeping that staff together, allowing guys to develop, and then allowing that to turn into some long-term success. So I think it's tough. I do look at Lane Kiffin. If he gets to the right place, I mean, Ole Miss can do what it does with the money they got, but it is about where you are at the same time. I don't blame you, Cal. I ain't rooting for nobody now. There ain't nobody on this list you're gonna find me rooting for.
I know you ain't rooting for him,
my guy. But you had to throw it out there. But you know what? The reason why I say Lane is because I think that next up and coming coach has to have a few things. You got to not only be an X's and O's guy, but you got to be appealing to these young players. You got to have something in tow. I think Lane does attract young quarterbacks, and having a quarterback is always going to be a huge key to it. Prime ain't doing bad. He get his health in the right place. He's got a lot of resources, and if he can keep a staff up there, and I think because he deals with former professional athletes not necessarily looking for a head coaching spot, that can develop into a powerhouse if he's able to, keep it going without his son being that quarterback. So a lot of coaches want to be the next guy. The formula is tough, though, because you got to be able to recruit your area. You got to lock down your state, and X's and O's almost got to be like the back of your hand. You got to sleep good football and be able to get it out, regurgitate it, and teach young players how to be successful in your system. So it's a tough call, but it'd be hard for me to say who is going to be that next guy.
So I'm going to ask you a question, but before I ask you that question, he said he was at school with us. Man, what does all those initials stand for? Because I just can't.
How about them effing Dawgs?
That's a good podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He dropping some gems. He dropping gems. He said he was at school.
How about that fucking dog? You can't see the logo. My bad. Hold on, man. I'm working blue. I just got on the show, baby.
You good. Empty the clip, folks. Empty the clip.
So, CA, since you're on fire right now, I'm going to pose this to you. I don't know if you heard this that I posed to the guys beforehand. And it's a big if. But I'm just saying we speak in hypotheticals anyway. But if Ryan Day were to win another natty, he then would have matched Kirby, because I used the word supplant, and I noticed you focus on that. If he wins another natty, he would have matched Kirby and win totals in terms of natty, but he also has a better win percentage. Would that not be maybe supplanting him at that point? I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't think so. I think it's about being competitive. I think they're both relatively young in their career, so they got a lot they're yet to be identified or defined, I should say. But Ryan Day is a good candidate. It does strengthen his case. But as long as Kirby's competitive, as long as we're able to recruit kids and maintain a top 5 recruiting and maintain, playoff standing. I think that's really what it's based on. You can't win that championship every year. So if Ryan Day goes up and has another title, it definitely helps his case in the long haul. But I don't think, again, that race is close to being over. I think they both have got plenty of time left. Whether they maintain it all at the same institution is yet to be determined. But I do think he's a good candidate, and that'll do nothing but strengthen his case. But I'll roll my dice with 16.
And the Bulldog report, you put the stats out there. You asked the question, what's the win percentage between those two guys? You put it out there. Let us know.
Postseason win percentage.
And so
Right,
my question too with Ryan Day though, and I don't have the facts on this, but I know that he's been struggling with Michigan. So have they been winning the conference the last couple of years? I know they've been getting in the playoffs, but have they even been winning their own conference?
They didn't last year. They didn't last year because Oregon won last year. Michigan won the year before.
So,
but I think that they won 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Kirby has 3 SEC titles, but again, just going off his win percentage, he may not be necessarily winning the conference, but just based off his total win percentage. So I guess if you look at it like that, you could say, you can say that Kirby has better wins. The type of wins that he had, exactly, for sure.
Yeah, it matters. Yeah,
that's true because Ryan Day was on the hot seat not 6-8 months ago. Like he won it all.
Right.
Off the hot seat. You can't beat Michigan. That, those rivalry games,
Michigan was awful they matter. Last year. Yeah, they were awful last year. You can't lose that game. So, you know what I'm saying? So, when we talk about the significant wins that Kirby has, you can't have them kind of losses, man, against your rival like that over and over and over again. Can't do it.
So, what about Sarkisian? I think somebody mentioned him earlier. Granted, he doesn't have the major wins, but, I mean, he is up and coming at this particular point. Will we say that? At least.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I like him better than I like Lane Kiffin, and I think he just got much better. He's got much better resources at Texas as well. So I think, and I think that he looks like a guy too that relates really well to kids as well. So, he's right there in that mix. You know what I'm saying? He's another guy to me that just kind of like Ryan Day last year. Has to take that next step and get over the hump, prove that he can do that.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Sark.
It's hard.
I like Sark. Go ahead.
CA, we were obviously just nitpicking earlier. I'm gonna ask you the same questions since you came in a little bit later. So, I prefacing by asking, where do you get the guy that already has everything? So what would you like to see some improvements in Kirby Smart as being the best coach in the game right now? What would you like to see him improve next year as a coach, whether it be on the field or off the field?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. I might struggle with this one, because I look at, what do I want from a coach? I want that passion. I want that energy. I want someone who I feel like understands the X's and O's and keeps my team on the front end of, play calling, all the typical metrics. I don't know what I would want from him, but I'm always gonna want more. He can be more demanding of the staff.
We want more.
I guess I would love for him to put more pressure on his staff, openly, vocally, calling guys out on the staff. Those guys are veteran. They know the position they're in. Speaking directly to my old quarterback, Mike Bobo, this is a pressure-built season for him specifically. We want to see how he plans to design the offense and put points on the board. I don't care how long Gunner's been there. I don't care how new these weapons are. The linebacker situation, I feel like it's the best in the nation. We're turning over good product in the secondary. Yeah, I want to see more turnovers. I want to see pressure. I want to see those coaches continue to step up and put my players in positions to be successful because I'm recruiting the best players. That's not the question. I know I got some of the best pieces in the cupboard. It's about us putting them in functional spaces so we can win. So if he wants to apply more pressure to his coaches, put him more on the spotlight because he doesn't babysit them, but he protects them. He allows the coaches to coach, and he usually takes most of the punishment out in front of the media. Make them speak for themselves, especially when it's time for the fire to hit that ass. And I can't say he doesn't do a good job already, but I would love to see those coaches take more accountability for their positions and be able to speak to it, especially when they have to respond to the fan base who might not be happy with the product. So again, just as you mentioned, nitpicking, but at the same time, we're gonna try to find ways to be better across the board.
Hey, Thad, I got a question for the crew, because CA, you hit on some interesting things that I haven't really thought about. So you're talking about like the coaches
and put that comment back up, stat guy, when you get a chance.
Putting a little bit more pressure on the coaches, right? So, in your opinion, for everybody, who is the assistant coach? So we've talked about the head coach. We know Kirby's the guy. Who's the assistant coach who has the most pressure on them at the University of Georgia this year? And I'm gonna start off, and I'm going to say the guy that I think has the most pressure is the offensive line coach. I think that he has to prove that he just got to prove something to me. I need to see it. I'm not a big fan of his, so I just need to see this. I need to see this. Sorrell, yeah, I need to see this offensive line get better throughout the year, and I haven't. I just can't say that I've seen that with his product, and I want to see that, and I want to see Kirby be on his ass for that to happen. So, for everybody else, y'all go ahead. Who's the assistant coach y'all need?
Man, I was gonna say I can't even come up. You spot on with that one for me. The offensive line has got to be better this year. It's got to not just be better. It's got to get back to being dominant again. We've got way too many big time kids on that offensive line for us not to be an elite offensive line. So I agree with you. If the line is not at the top of the SEC, I think that's somewhere we need to look to replace that guy. We gotta get back to being dominant up there.
Yep.
Man, that's tough. That's a tough follow. But we may as well just line Trey Scott up with it. Stacey Searles and Trey Scott. Let's get it. Because that dominance on the line has been lackluster when we look at last year. We're just gonna look at last year. I ain't got to go too far.
You nitpicking, right?
But we're gonna nitpick hard. We're gonna go deep. We in it now. Yeah, that's a problem up front, because whether I want Bobo to be successful or not, it's gonna really dictate or help to determine how successful we are if we can control the trenches, and that's on both sides. So Trey Scott, Stacey Searles, however we pronounce the name, let's get the work done. I believe in the product, or I believe in the ingredients, but we got to be more productive with what we're putting out there. So I like the players, but I need to see some of these guys step up, shine, look different from the year before, see a lot more development, especially in my D-line. Offensive line, we really just had a lot of injuries. We got to protect the depth we got. We got to have young guys step up. But again, that's a problem across the country. So it's not going to be exclusive to the University of Georgia to play young players. Coach them up. That's what you're there for. We're paying a lot of money for these coaches.
Yes, sir.
To see mistakes made, we're not going to tolerate it. You've shown me better. So now that is what I expect.
So he came in shooting.
So I'm gonna say this, man. I agree with CA. CA hit on a lot of points that I was gonna hit on. To me, it's almost like, the chicken before the egg kind of theory. It's like these guys, both guys. I think it started with both guys in the trenches, as I think Coach I put in the comment and CA hit on. Because we are recruiting 5.5 and 6 stars and getting them. So it's not the players. It's not the players. We're getting the best of the players. It's about what are we doing in developing these guys once we get them. You remember I used to say their P's don't add up, meaning your potential is not adding up to your play, and that's what's happening right now. So to answer the question, I think it's both the offensive line coach and the defensive line coach, and that's been our problem the last 2 years because we don't have those, like I always say, remember those special guys. On either side of the ball.
Yep.
So I agree with you guys. I think we all on the same page. It's no quarrels with me.
So the only problem, baby. It's all about the trenches.
I got with that, shout, is you saying that we have all this talent, but then you're saying we don't have that guy. You know what I'm saying, on either one of the lines. So somebody has to emerge. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is a talent, but somebody has to emerge and kind of go out there and make those animal plays. You know what
But
I'm saying? We haven't seen that.
But it's about the development. I mean, technically on paper, we got a bunch of guys.
True.
You mean tell me out of all the guys, we can't make one of them stand out? That's what I'm saying. Called technically on paper, we got a bunch of guys, folks. I'm saying we got 5.5, 6 stars all over the board.
Hey, Thad, you remember? I used to have a theory, and I still carry it. It's a lot of guys that are gonna be special. We don't even know their name yet, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make me learn your name. Like I'm not gonna filter through the roster and figure out how many stars you. Damn, what you did in high school, coach. Show me now. It is the time.
So CA, let me ask you this, and I'm gonna ask it to the panel, but I'm gonna ask you CA because you kind of helped me bridge into this. We got about another 10 minutes, but let me just ask you this, and it's always been in place, but now I think it's probably becoming even more prevalent. Politics, right? So now I got a 5-star who I'm paying $3 million, but I got the 3-star who I'm paying $300,000. I got to give a 5-star every chance to succeed because he got the bigger contract.
I don't like that.
I'm just saying that.
That's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
That's what you call that's pro football. That's pro football. Like if you got a number 1 draft pick versus the 6th round, you're giving them every shot to succeed. It's the same principle that follows. But at some point, you know what I'm saying, that door gonna close and you just gonna have to go with the 3-star and you're gonna have to let the other guy transfer. Because that's what it comes down to anyway.
Hey Cal, I'm gonna say this. I agree. I'm just throwing it out there. That's just like if NIL was as prevalent, I don't know. We have a Stetson Bennett because we did everything in the world not to play Stetson Bennett. But imagine we had somebody we were paying $4 million to. Stetson Bennett might wouldn't have got that shot. You see what I'm saying?
Well, Stetson Bennett got a couple of shots.
Right.
Because we
did everything we could. But we weren't paying nobody quarterback either. We weren't paying nobody $4 million. That's what I'm saying. He had a bunch of opportunity because we weren't paying nobody $4 million to actually start.
I think the money get you in the door. I don't think we're gonna operate that way. I think we're gonna use the money to get you. The money gonna be what sign you. But I hope and believe that we intend to put the best 11 on the field. Like, you might get a look in camp, but when it's time for me to go against the big dogs, I need to put my best foot forward. And that's what I rely on the coaches to continue to do. Because even before the money, you had better players, you had higher ranked players that you necessarily didn't. You always gave them a look, but when it was time to play, I mean, we had Justin Fields in the cupboard and didn't give him the opportunity. And I don't think it was behind money to Fromm or any other situation like that. He just wasn't ready. He decided to leave. Yeah. I think that's how Stetson got his opportunity. I think it was more happenstance. Yeah. And that can still happen. Rarely. It was rare then, and it's still going to be rare. But I do think the coaches are going to bring in the talent they can bring in with whatever number. Every position does have its own salary cap. But when it's time for me to get my best 11, I'm hoping it's not all going to be based on money. I know it's a factor in who gets the look first, but I need my best 11 on the field at all times. So that's what I'm relying on the coaches for. So we'll see how that breaks down, though. That is an interesting conversation because they ain't paying these kids for nothing.
That's true, and I think that's gonna come back to the evaluation too. You want to make sure that evaluation is actually matching up to what I'm paying these kids. You don't want to be missing a lot on that. You don't want a big group of kids that we're paying and none of those guys can really play. So that's going to be kind of maybe, every now and then, but I think that's where it goes back to Kirby saying, you know what, I still want to get the guys that we need in here, and we're going to pay them accordingly.
Want to be
hey,
let me Eric, I want to address that question.
Yeah, I saw that too, exactly.
Please retype it because I didn't really get it unless you guys can understand that. I didn't really get it.
And not being logged on, man.
I don't know if you're trolling or what, but maybe retype it, put it back in there, and maybe we'll address it because I would like to. with the few minutes.
Hey man, great programs to have kids get arrested. Man, what the hell you want me to say?
Hey,
man?
Right. I mean, it's
Hey,
college.
Sean,
Go to Miami, go to Florida State, go to Ohio State. They got kids
it
getting
happened
arrested.
every right. That's what kids do. I mean, hey, Sean, a quick question. Let me ask you this. So you brought up an interesting scenario. Let's say you got this cornerback, right? He's one of the top cornerbacks in the country, not quarterback, but cornerback, right? You bring him in, you pay him $2-3 million. A 3-star beat him out at cornerback, right? Are they making these kids transfer, or if I'm that corner, why wouldn't you just ride it out and just keep getting this money for the next 2 or 3 years? Do they make them transfer?
So I would say this right here. I can't, I give the guys a chance to retort as well. I say this right here. You got to think about it like this right here. It depends on if I got a contract or not. Because if I got a contract, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna get this money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I might, you could get hurt. I might come back out there. But at the same time, I can't leave because I got a contract. It just depends on how it just depends on how this thing set up. You see what I'm saying? It depends on how it's set up.
Let me ask you this.
Money don't mean I'm supposed to start.
Right, but this is
right.
I wonder if somebody could find this real quick. I know we're getting off in a second. I wonder what's the difference between what maybe let's say Daniel Harris and Ellis Robinson. I'm sure Ellis Robinson he came in with all this hype. I wonder what money he's making versus what Daniel Harris is making. You know what I'm saying?
So E-Rob kind of threw out a situation like from the Tennessee quarterback. I was getting a certain amount of money, but at this point in time, every contract can be renegotiated. I want more money. Forget what I had in place in high school. I want more money. Right? Yeah, but how you just going to void the contract we already don't have for the past 2 years and say you want more? You see what I'm saying? So that my point is like
that money now.
Right. My point is like, how is this set up? And, I don't know what's where.
The language, right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
now I was wondering if they were making a transfer.
Because it had to be non-binding because he just left. He was like, you ain't give me what I want, I'm gone. So is it a contract? If it's non-binding, now it just, now we get into the verbiage. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's always
okay, but if you in practice and you say player A, and we're all looking at this quarterback. Let's say he was the 3-star guy, and you say, "God damn, boy, we gonna win the national championship with him." Or I got the number 1 quarterback in the nation that came in who ain't as good. Do you think Kirby's gonna say, "I'm gonna play this guy because we giving him this money"? I don't.
No. I don't think the money changes. I don't think the money changes much.
Then also the way that go ahead, see my bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying I don't think the money dynamic changes who coaches want to put on the field because the locker room also ain't stupid. Like I ain't gonna sit here and just I'm not gonna go all out when my quarterback ain't the right guy in there. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna speak up. I'm gonna bitch and complain about it. You're gonna mess up everybody if you don't have the right people on the field, the best 11. And we all know that. We've been in the locker room. I'm not gonna sit there and say, "Hey man, why you ain't got Hines on the field? You sitting over there on the bench. What the hell are we doing? We trying to win." I thought we were trying to win. Like, I don't give a damn about where the money going as a player. And I think in the locker room, you lose your locker room when you play favorites and those favorites aren't producing. And we all know favorites get played, but they got to be productive. That's that's the important part. You need to be a leader. You need to be showing how it's done. If you just collecting the check, the locker room will speak on that. You ain't gonna be able to last long anyway. And that's kind of, I feel like, what happened at Tennessee with Boo Carter. Their safety threatening to leave and then having to come back. And at this point, he might be facing a short suspension as the team welcomes him back. A very talented guy, planning on playing both sides of the ball. But, had a little bit of a discrepancy with the leadership on the team and might have wanted another couple of dollars added. I ain't mad at none of that. But it does put you in a position where you got to make some decisions because the portal ain't open all year. Yeah, I think that the locker room does have a chance to still help dictate how these scenarios work out. The money doesn't call all the shots. The money is more to motivate you personally, get you in here, make sure you are where you want to be. But I think it does jade some players because if you're getting the money and not getting the playing time, you might feel like I can go get this money anywhere, a la Nico. And that's how you end up with a lesser check and worse talent around.
At a lesser school.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
But see, what Kirby is doing, and someone put in the comments a lot earlier about the transaction and how we get players. Kirby is already setting a foundation in a culture of where you young boys are not going to come in here getting more money than the guys who already don't put the work in.
Earn it.
It's like the Patriots.
Right now, if you find a way that you getting some money some kind of way through your NIL and you just that famous, that's understandable. But by our structure, the way we do things, you're not coming in making more money than some of the guys who have already put that work in. So just by that alone, he's already setting the standard in a culture of where we're not getting you just based on money. We're getting you because some of the money, but a lot of it got because you want to be here too.
Yeah.
True. We got something to offer, and that's supposed to be the coaching.
You said it earlier, Charlie.
Level.
The same way you get them, the same way you lose.
The same way you give them, the same way you lose them. So if you get them for money, you're going to lose them for money. And those are not the guys who we want, and those are not the guys who we approach.
You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time with that shit right there, man.
You know, I hate to say it. It's almost like, you know, I want to use him as an example, and I could be wrong with Bear Bryant. You know what I'm saying?
Bear Alexander.
No, I mean Bear Alexander. I'm sorry, Bear Bryant.
I was like,
I was lost with that.
Bear Alexander. But look here, guys. Before we get out of here, we don't reach our hour point. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. The comments been on fire tonight, man.
Shout out to the comments section,
absolutely, salute.
Caitlin Hill, Hina Patel, Lance B, First Lady Shelby, Coach I in the comment, Fanatic Sports, all those syllables, Georgia Bulldog Podcast.
Go Dogs, yeah.
The Bulldog Report, dropping gems and knowledge, man. Trojan Fight, Sooner and Stat guy behind the scene producing everything, man.
Shout out to Stat guy, man.
I got a lot of subscribing to do after this. We appreciate all y'all. I'm jumping to drop to all y'all.
Hall of Fame, college football, everybody in the comments, man. If I miss you, I apologize. Shout out to Coach I, man. He wasn't here tonight. Like I said, I was behind the wheel, but I got my partners with me, keeping the thing in the middle of the road. And before we get out of here, man, you know, Coach, I don't do this, but I'm gonna run it just like my damn opinion before we get out of here, man. CA, let the people know what you got going on. Anything you got, you know what I'm saying? You want to give in the shout outs, anything before we get out of here.
Hey man, catch me on my damn opinion, and right here, Respect the Hedges. You know, shout out to, as always, Bulldog Bourbon Club. Go Dogs, man. Morris Hall, catch me at tailgate.
Shout out to JV, man, sponsor of Respect the Hedges. He wasn't here tonight. Shout out to JV too. E-Rod, what you got going on? Anything you want to let the people know about?
Man, you can find me here every Tuesday. Respect these damn hedges. I think we're gonna be taking this thing on the road a little bit later on this year. You know what I'm saying? So just y'all stay tuned, man. We got big things happening. Hey man, I'm just so happy that everybody, I can feel the energy. I can feel we getting close to the season. I can feel it, man. So people want to talk football. Come holler at your boys every Tuesday. Hit that like button.
And my partner, man, who with me on Just My Damn Opinion, bringing up the real man. Cool Cat, what's happening? Let people know what you got going on, or they can find you.
Football genius, y'all.
Right. You know what I mean? Just my damn opinion. Obviously, man, come back, check us out tomorrow night, 9:00, man. Gonna have a great show, man. And like E-Rob said, man, this thing getting crunked back up. The Hall of Fame game come on this Thursday. I know it's always garbage, but man, we at least getting a little taste. And that's all, you know what I'm saying, we can ask for right now, man. So I'm looking forward to a great season, fellas.
Yeah, man, it's getting close to that time, man. You can smell it in the air, man. That grass, man, all that good stuff, man. Y'all can catch us every week, man. Respect the Hedges, man. Shout out to Coach I. Shout out to JV, man. Y'all can catch us every week. Respect the Hedges. Just My Damn Opinion. Wednesday night, me and Cal, 9:30, man. We up out of here, man. Peace up, A-Town down, man. Y'all know how we do it, man. Let's go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
We out of here.